Way back when, I wanted to learn how to draw. I was always around artists. I was very curious. My uncle introduced me to this guy named Frank Gomez. And this guy pushed that I learn to draw the human anatomy. He told me that he didn't go to school either, but what he did was learn how to draw the skull. And for some reason, that just makes sense to me. Like I understood it from that point on that it's true. If you learn the skull, all you gotta do is give it eyes, nose, and lips, and a blanket of skin on it. It is a person. After that, it was just one conversation that I had with the guy, and I took what he told me and I just ran with it. And I just started learning all the parts of the body. I did my best. I'm not a natural talent. But I did know that this is the way to learn. I struggled a lot to do these two drawings. This is way back in high school. This was like one of my best drawings at the time. So was this one. Because at the time, I wanted to learn how to extract what I had in my head. As I'm doing these drawings, I know I suck. I know it's terrible. But I know that what Frank told me made sense. And I just had faith that if I kept at this stuff, I'll be able to draw well. Again, the goal being not drawing what I see and becoming like a great human copier. It's drawing what I understand. There's a big difference. I believe a lot of artists draw what they see, but they don't quite draw what they understand. This here was like one of the greatest drawings I did at my time. This one here too. Yeah. I'm pretty stubborn. I mean, I really want to learn the bones and why they're shaped the way they are. In time, I realized that drawing's one thing, but then there has to be another dimension for me to truly understand this stuff. There's a reason why I'm shading this stuff, is so I can believe that this thing exists in space. And I believe it was a senior in high school. And I was around this time I was telling myself, I want to be a professional. I really want to be in the industry and be an animator. But I knew I had a lot to go. I mean, look at these drawings. Terrible. But I had faith. For some reason, I was able to see myself do this stuff in the future. I could see myself drawing. And when I did drawings like this, it gave me hope. Like, hey, look at that. I drew that off the top of my head. And I didn't know I was progressing rapidly. And as I think I'm progressing rapidly, I would do these drawings. And I'll be like, great, there I am again. I'm very bad. But I didn't realize that it's these type of drawings that actually make the difference. Had I not done this drawing and believed that this is the best I can do, I don't think I would have grown. I mean, I'm being honest with myself. This is what I know and this is what I understand. Even after all that stuff I drew back there. You take all that stuff away from me, in the end of the day, that's what I can do off the top of my head. This is the truth. And it's these drawings that I valued the most. And it helps me remember, like, I don't know, like a point in my life where like, well, that's what my drawing looks like when I depend on my own head, you know? Then that's what matters to me the most. Not being a great copying machine. That's me doing a cool cartoon character. It's a very terrible drawing. A friend of mine did this on the side and that was like better than my stuff. Here's another cartoon character thing. I thought was really cool at the time. I didn't know, I didn't think it was cool, but I just didn't understand how to get cool drawings out from my imagination. This was like big leap from what I was able to do. Now, this is me looking at a picture, but still, even for me looking at a picture, I was never able to do this kind of work. So I sat there and I cross-hatched the hell out of the background because, I don't know, I just wanted to spend a lifetime in a place where it felt that I was doing things right. Since all I feel like I do things, everything I've been doing is wrong. More drawings off the top of my head. Here I was trying to achieve somebody looking up and screaming. Wasn't quite working out. In the end, I ended up doing this drawing. And I was like, wow, look at that. Such a leap from these weird ugly drawings, right? To this one. And that actually looked like the guy. There's a drawing of my sister. And I was like, all right, things are coming along. I'm actually learning it. You know, there's hope for me. And even though this drawing's not that appealing, you can tell that there's a strong foundation of anatomy in here. Terrible drawing, but I understand. And I think, again, that's what I value the most. And I knew the key to great drawing is understanding these shapes, you know, these dimensional shapes. Here's another drawing I did. At that time, I thought, hey, I'm gonna push a face. I feel like I know everything there is to know about a face, and that's what I did. It's the ugliest, dumbest thing I've ever seen in my life. But I wasn't gonna quit. I'm gonna keep going, keep going. This Patreon that I have is to be able to teach everybody what took me years to learn in a matter of minutes. Nobody taught me. It's just stuff that I picked up over the years. And one of the biggest things that I'm gonna rail on is the human anatomy. Okay. That's me pushing it again. Alright, cool. Well, I'm going to show you another sketchbook. So after I finished that sketchbook, I finally went out and bought myself a sketchbook. And I started drawing more skeletons, things like that, so I can be able to understand the face. 98, man, a long time ago. And this is one of my biggest achievements right there. That one little drawing right there, that really helped me understand that I actually understand what the hell I'm doing. I know why I'm doing what I'm doing. I know what all those little lumps are. Even that drawing didn't come out too bad. You could tell I have a lot of problems here and some weird design issues here, but at the time I didn't know that design was even a thing. I thought the more I understood about anatomy, the better my design would be, but boy was I wrong. Design and anatomy are just two different things. I'm here trying to make this look down, but didn't really come out too well. This drawing is starting to look a lot better. It's one thing to draw in your studio or at home, and it's another to draw people on the spot. And this is a drawing I did of some a couple people I found at the mall, and my drawing sucked. They're no good. It's like, wow, all that education for what? Look, I draw terrible. I have like no design at all, no sense of it. I mean, at this time I was thinking, yeah, I know my anatomy, but why aren't my drawings looking well? Well, years later I would find out, again, it's design. The ability to caricature is, in my opinion, and the reason why caricature appeals to me so much is because I believe if you truly understand what you're doing, you can caricature. Some people believe, caricature is about exaggerating. It is, but I believe it's more than that. Like, the ability to caricature is to be able to understand, like for an example, caricaturing the face is the ability to understand the face and all its complexities to the point where things are simple. Michelangelo said, simplicity is the ultimate form of sophistication. Man, I agree. Because when you understand, those lines go down super quick. When you don't understand, it's when you take days and you struggle. I took days and I struggled like crazy. That's how I knew I didn't understand. Like even these drawings here, at the time they were like the greatest drawings I've ever done in my life. But they took like a week to do. Yeah, I don't think so. I wanted more than that. I drew my friend right over here. My drawings are looking way better. I didn't realize that like within 1 year, I would drastically like make all these improvements, just learning the skull, learning how to sculpt. I didn't know sculpture would help me at all. But see, if you see what I'm doing right over here, I'm trying to describe form. So at the time I was like, well, you know what? If I just sculpted a nose, I should be able to draw it at any angle. I had no clue that sculpture would end up helping me out in drawing. I only picked up sculpture not because I wanted to learn to sculpt, because I wanted to get better at my drawing. I had no clue that it would make me like 100 times better. Finally, my drawings are looking sort of like drawings. Again, these are all studies though, I'm very determined to understand the anatomy and the bones. And keep beating the same concepts in my head. Those skulls are looking way better. I'm able to draw this stuff. Never able to do that before. All within 1 year. I want to learn how to turn the head in different angles. This is my attempt to understanding that. I didn't achieve it, but that's my goal, and I'm stubborn, and I'll do it, and I'll do whatever it takes. Some artists like to say, oh, you don't ever want to do that because you never see the head in that angle, but I don't give a damn. I want to learn. I want to know how to do this. I want to know the ins and outs of everything. Here I would sketch out the skull in blue, and then with black I would add in the anatomy. The fact that I can even do this was like super like, wow, like finally, hey, I can draw portraits with pen and cross hatch it. This one too. Like one of the coolest drawings at the time. And I did this one. I'm like, wow, I'm just getting better and better and better and better. My caricatures are a lot better. It was around this point I was thinking to myself, I think I might be ready to be able to draw people on the spot. I want to work at a theme park, and a good friend of mine did this for me. Freaking talented guy. This guy is a natural designer, which I am not. All these beautiful shapes, awesome. This is like one of the greatest drawings I've ever done in my whole life. That's my brother. He was sleeping. I did this in pen. I didn't know I could do this. All that from just learning the human anatomy. Who would have known? My head was blowing up. My ego was high. And I'm like, yeah, gonna do caricatures. I want to learn how to do this stuff. I'm gonna approach these guys at Magic Mountain or any one of those theme parks and be like, okay, teach me so I can like take over the world. Little did I know it was a different type of world. It's not what I thought it would be. That took me, I feel like another lifetime just learning how to do those type of caricatures. But that's what I wanted to learn. I wanted to learn how to draw things on the spot, then and there, 5 minutes. I don't want to take days. I take 5 minutes. Here, these things were just like, I was popping these out now. I was like, yeah, this is simple. I can just pop these out, but it took me a long time to learn. What I would like to do is share everything I know, a couple videos, and I'm hoping that you guys can express yourselves, and hopefully maybe you guys can ask questions. I'll be able to answer, and anything I can do to give back and contribute, it would be cool, because nobody really was there to answer any of my questions. People were really frustrated with me. Nobody really wanted to talk to me. I've noticed that the majority of artists that I've come across were just really talented people. They didn't really know how they did what they did. You know, they just did. That's a cool drawing. Yeah. Yeah, so anyway, I was around a lot of talented people, and I was very frustrated. I was like, man, why can't these people teach? Can't these people just like hold me by the hand and just say, hey man, yeah, I got the answers for you? But no, nobody had any answers for me. I realized that the industry is filled full of talent, just super talented people who don't know why they do what it is they do. I am not a talented person, but I could break down freaking everything I do. I could tell you how I did it, why I'm doing it. I can break it down in the simplest lines. I did this off the top of my head. That was a big accomplishment. All my accomplishments are the drawings I draw off the top of my head. Sorry if I keep repeating myself. It's just something I've always wanted when I was a kid. Just like be those cool guys who can like draw on the spot. Around this time, I was exposed to Frank Frazetta. I didn't even know who the guy was, and I'm like, oh, that's what Frank Frazetta is. And this is when the very first time I was given an airbrush. I was like, yay, I'm gonna go to talent. This is part of my training. I was given an airbrush and started training. And I'm like, man, I'm really gonna show these guys draw caricatures a thing or two. This is the portfolio at the end of my high school, senior year. This is what I gave to the manager who did caricatures. Managed the booths in Magic Mountain. See, that's my sister. I didn't pop these drawings out in 5 minutes or any of that. These took me a long freaking time to do. This took me like a day. Marilyn Manson drawing. So support me on Patreon. All I'm gonna do is make videos, share drawings, things I've done over the years. And I hope I can make people's lives easier so they can be able to express themselves. I did this so I can understand the human anatomy a lot better. So this is of my teacher. I was a supervising animator of DuckTales. And this is like the last game I worked on when I was at WayForward Studios. So I'm an animator now, but my heart is in caricatures. All I want to do is give back. So thank you for your time.